Brace yourself for a journey into the unknown, where the truth is often stranger than fiction, and reality is weird as fuck. Some stories in the entertainment world often feel stranger than fiction. Fame, fortune, and tortured creativity. But behind the glittering surface lies a darker truth. We peel back the curtain on one of the music industry's most chilling secrets, the death clause. The idea that an artist can be worth more dead than alive. This is the story of contracts, catalogs, and conspiracies. From posthumous album sales to skyrocketing streaming numbers, the death of a musician often brings unparalleled profit. But are these just unfortunate coincidences, or is there a more sinister hand at play? Michael Jackson, the king of pop, remains one of the most iconic figures in music history, but his influence extended far beyond his own songs. In 1985, Jackson made a business move that changed the music industry forever. He purchased the ATV music catalog, which included the rights to hundreds of songs by the Beatles. This move, though brilliant, made Jackson a target. The catalog's value was immense, and the power it represented was undeniable. By the mid-2000s, financial troubles led Jackson to sell a 50% stake to Sony, but rumors swirled about pressure and coercion behind the scenes. Then, in 2009, Jackson's sudden death brought the world to a standstill. But in the wake of his passing, something remarkable happened. His estate earned more than $2 billion in the following decade, with renewed interest in his music and merchandise. The Beatles catalog, now entirely controlled by Sony. George Michael was more than a pop star. He was a revolutionary. In the 1990s, he famously battled Sony Music in a lawsuit, accusing the label of exploiting artists and locking them into restrictive contracts. Michael's fight for freedom made him a pariah in the industry. Though he ultimately lost the lawsuit, his criticisms of the music business resonated deeply. By the time of his death in 2016, he had regained control of much of his work, but not before a series of financial disputes and allegations of pressure from former managers. After his death, Michael's music sales surged, and unreleased material became a goldmine for his estate. Some wondered if his refusal to play by industry rules ultimately cost him more than his career. In the digital era, the economics of music shifted. Streaming platforms became the new record stores, and posthumous releases became some of the industry's most lucrative ventures. Enter Gustav Orr, better known as a Little Peep. Peep, a rising star in the emo rap scene, tragically died of an accidental overdose in 2017 at just 21 years old. But in the years since his death, Peep's music has exploded in popularity, with posthumous albums, documentaries, and merchandise generating millions. Some fans and critics argue that the industry capitalized on his death, releasing unfinished music and profiting from a persona frozen in time. Was this a tribute to an artist gone too soon? Or a calculated move to maximize earnings? The idea of a death clause isn't just urban legend. Many artist contracts include stipulations about how their estate and work will be managed after their death, ensuring the labels maintain absolute control. And history shows that the deaths of high-profile artists often lead to record profits. Prince's estate generated massive earnings following his death in 2016, with unreleased vault material becoming a treasure trove. Whitney Houston's music skyrocketed in popularity after her tragic passing in 2012. Even Kurt Cobain's legacy continues to generate millions annually, with Nirvana's music cemented in rock history. Artists like Jimi Hendrix, Tupac Shakur, and Amy Winehouse left behind legacies that only grew in value after their deaths. But at what cost? The pressures of fame, relentless schedules, and controlling contracts have long been criticized for driving artists to breaking points. And here's where the conspiracy deepens. Are these tragedies mere accidents, or is there a system in place, one that sees the death of an artist as a financial windfall rather than a loss? The questions are uncomfortable, but the numbers don't lie. In the music business, death can sometimes be the most lucrative career move of all. So, when it comes to the music industry and the death clause, perhaps we should be asking, how far would those in power go to protect their profits? Suppose an artist is no longer playing ball with the label or simply no longer popular enough to recoup the invested profits. Could a decision conceivably be made to cash in post-tragedy? If so, are these familiar events as accidental as they seem? Because in an industry built on contracts, control, and image, the truth might be stranger and darker than fiction. After all, in music, as in life, sometimes the hits keep coming, even after the artist is gone. Staged deaths, clandestine record execs plotting to recoup their investment, or just plain weird as fuck.